Welcome to 3 stories and 3 learnings and 3 calls to action. back back in the day, I was riding my bicycle with my dad, and he was riding around the lines in the road. It was a road with essentially no traffic on it. So I started to do that as well. I wanted to make him proud by doing the same thing. And I told him something like, "Hey, Dad, I'm riding around the same way that you did because that's what you did." And he his reply surprised me. And then it also didn't surprise me because of a different reason. In a second, I'll tell you. He said, "Well, actually, I don't always do the right thing." He said that he didn't always do the right thing, and therefore I shouldn't always copy him. Um, I was a little bit shocked by this. I was like, "Wait, what? You're my dad. How can you not always do the right thing?" And the other reason that I was a little bit maybe upset with myself is that I kind of knew that he shouldn't be riding back and forth around those lines there, but I did it anyway just to gain his favor. And so the question becomes for me, like, why did I want to get his favor? Why did I try to copy him? And who might I also be trying to copy just to get their attention? So that's something that I'll have to think about a little bit. And it's a little fun exercise for you. Whose attention are you trying to get? Or whose attention were you trying to get? And why might that end? So write your answers in the comments below or send me a message. The second story, around the same age, I don't remember if it's before or after, but same house for sure. I received a present, like a Christmas present, of a Nerf football. I loved it. I had this brand new football. It was so like, wow. And I could just smell it. And it was this new perfect football. I was so proud of it. It's like, wow, I have a football and, you know, all this stuff. And I wanted to show the world that I had a football. So I'm still a little bit torn up over this, and that's some work I need to work on. But I was like, "Hey, Dad, I've got this name with Junior on the end. I'm Robert Jr. How do you spell Junior? Is it J dot R, or is it dot J R dot? And I didn't understand where the dots should go on this. I knew it was an abbreviation for Junior, but just with JR. And my dad said, "Well, you can do it any way you want to." So I was like, "Oh, that's weird, but okay." So I wrote dot J dot R dot in permanent marker, in black permanent marker on a bright neon orange football. And I was like, that's not right. But I had ruined ruined my football. And in my mind, I had ruined it. And I didn't want anyone to see what I had done. So I was like, all right, I know what to do. I'll just pick off the plastic here and make a little, like, shave off the layer, and then it'll be right to erase that first dot. It turns out the neon didn't go all the way into the football. It was like a ugly brown orange underneath it. And the football was doubly ruined, or maybe it was even white. I don't remember. But I do know that I destroyed that football. I just shredded it to bits to not let anyone see that I had not only made a mistake, I had made a mistake in covering up my mistake. I shredded it. I couldn't get over that I had made that mistake, and I didn't know how to spell my own name. So my challenge to myself and to you is to notice what things you try to get perfectly. Where are you a perfectionist in your life? I still certainly have work on this. I'm creating this video as a secret unlisted video that I'm not going to show anyone except a few key people, and until further notice, of course. But yeah, where am I still a perfectionist, and why is that? Who am I trying to impress? So, third story. What is it? Oh, yeah, my story about coming to Japan. I was a volunteer advisor for a high school youth group in like 1997, 8, 6 or 7, I can't remember, like 97 through 2000 or so, 3 or 4 years, 4 years. Anyway, this youth group was like had been really important to me when I was a youth, and so when I became an adult, I wanted to volunteer and give back to this youth group and to support the youth. Basically, the adults' jobs were to make sure that everyone stays alive. There was it was all youth-led programming, super great for building leadership skills and empowering youth empowerment, basically. And it was super important for me, and I knew I was doing good for the world by empowering the youth. And I, at the same time, I eventually got this realization that I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to go somewhere and move outside of where I had been living for however many, like 25, 30 years. And one of the youth said that, I said, but this youth group work is really important to me, so I'm trapped. I'm like, how can I leave? But I have this dream. And one of the youth said to me, if I stay, then I'm teaching by example to not follow my dreams. And that was such a revelation. I was like, oh, I see. I have to go because I want to go. So the question for this one is, where am I not allowing myself to go? Where do I think I have to stay in order to take care of someone who can take care of themselves? Uh, I I'm just adding, like, don't leave your kids. But what am I trying to take care of in my life, of, like, working at a job that is not exactly inspiring, but uh, I have fear that I can't replace that income. So that's something for me to look at, and I wonder what other things you might be uh, trying to hold on to too long. Maybe I'm going to say it that way. So those are my three stories and three things I learned and three questions. So thank you very much, and have a great day.